welcome to build day 28. It's about 8:30 in the morning, roughly. Didn't check the time before I came out. I know it's after 8 o'clock. We're in the Spyder display. This is our display for the day. We are going to be working in here, getting this all powered up and ready to go so Sue Ann can put her finishing touches on and we'll have another display done. I doubt highly Sue Ann will be in here today doing her finishing touches. It's going to take me a while, especially with two pneumatics to hook up. And I think that's what we're going to start on first. We're going to start on this guy here, the jumping snake. And we got to get him hooked up to air, hooked up to his control board, get him all programmed and everything. And speaking of control boards, Awoken Nightmare on YouTube specifically asked about the boxes. He wanted to know if they were waterproof. And the answer to that is no, they are water resistant. If you take one of the boards in the container and put it in a 5-gallon bucket and fill it with water and let it set, within about an hour it'd be filled up with water. The containers are designed to keep moisture out, so I say they're water resistant. These things sit out all the month of October, which is when I normally put them in. I have several, like in the graveyard, that sit out in the weather. There's nothing protecting them, the boards, other than the boxes. And I've never had one get water in it. I even have several that sit out in the weather underneath wet hay. And I've never had any trouble with water getting into them. But, if you were to soak them in a 5-gallon bucket, yeah, they'd fill up with water. So, Awoken Nightmare, hopefully that answers your question on that one. The whole idea of the box is to keep water off the board. And let's see here. I'm not sure if it'll show or not through the side. The board is not even sitting on the bottom of the box, so it could handle, probably about half an inch of water on the bottom of the thing before it would hit the board and short the board out. If that ever happened. But, so I've addressed Awoken Nightmare's question. Hopefully that helps. Like I said, today is Spyder. We're going to be working on it. I'm going to start off with getting the pneumatics hooked up and running, and then we'll come back in and get lighting in. Sue Ann and I have talked. The last couple of seasons, we have used strictly orange in the room. This year, I think we're going to do a combination of orange and green. Orange for basic lighting, and green for spots, to highlight. So, at least that's what we're thinking. It may change between now and then. I don't know. But I'm going to put the camera down. We're going to get to work because there just isn't any time for breakfast. Okay, sad news. We have a failure. The jumping snake. This plate here is supposed to be attached to this right here. And I got it hooked up. Fired it once. It went up. It came down. And the head came off. The metal failed right there. Now my next door neighbor is a welder. He has a lot better skill than I do. I think in the off-season I'm going to have a talk with him and see if we can redo that bracket onto here. Right now I just don't have the time. I know he doesn't have the time either with work, so it's going to be definitely after haunt season before I can get this fixed. So what we're going to end up doing is I'm going to take this snake off. We're going to set it up over there as a static display. The eyes will be working. And Sue just came in. You can hear the rattling back there. And we're going to set this up with the old jumping Spyder on it, I think. Which will take a little bit of work, but it'll work at least, because I want two pneumatics in here. So we will do that instead. Okay. This man just called dinner. It's 5:38. He's doing an early dinner tonight. which is good because I just literally finished the lighting. All the lights are in, all the displays are secured and have their hay in them. So now, tomorrow, Sue's going to come out. She's got some cobwebbing on the fencing and some other cobwebbing to do in here. She's going to get all that done tomorrow. For me, tonight, after dinner, we'll come in here and I'll get all my lighting and stuff aimed and what have you, and get that done and over with. Now, technically, when I get done, now I'm done with this display, and this is the last major one I needed to do because of Sue. This is one of her areas, just like the scarecrow yesterday. It's one of her areas. She has a lot of work in here to do. Yet. So I jumped ahead of schedule and did them. Technically, I should move out front, do the photo op and the front end of the haunt. Problem is, at the time I get done with dinner, it is going to be too dark. Though I've got my clamp light, I could take that out there, so that's really no excuse. But the other thing is the businesses across the street, from about 6:30 to 10, they are extremely busy over there. And every time I try to work out front, when they get into their busy hour, I spend more time answering questions and gabbing with people than I do actually working, and I want to work. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the photo op and the front end of the haunt, which is the gates getting in and the pillars, to tomorrow. And we'll work on that tomorrow during the day while they're not so busy. They're dead over there during the day. So for tonight, I think we're going to work on the entrance, which is 3 or 4 floodlights, maybe 5 at the most, and a dedicated line ran to the power box, which shouldn't take too long. And then I'll probably move into the photo hallway, and we'll get a start on the photo hallway. There's no way in hell I'm going to finish that. That's a 1 to 2 day job, doing that photo hallway. That's the next pain in the ass because of all the lighting in there. So, but we'll get a start on it, and then tomorrow morning we'll switch over, do the photo op front end, and then go back to the photo hallway once the front end and the photo op are done. So, anyway, I'm going to go grab dinner. See you in a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm giving you your nighttime view. And I got 2 spots to show you tonight. First one is what we've been working on all day, and you really can't tell because of the house lights being on. But we got 2 orange floods in here, did some greens in here. And I set him off. Now this is coming up a lot brighter on the cell phone than it is in person. The jumping spider, which is a replacement for that guy since he broke, I'm going to add a spot to him to highlight him, and I need to add a spot to highlight him, and I'll do that in the morning. I like that. That is fucking cool. I'm sorry. But, I've got snakes and spiders. And into the tubes and a curtain right here. And we've got some more snakes here. But we're pretty much done in here. Got the hay in, all the gates are in. And other than those 2 spotlights I need to put in tomorrow morning. And Sue's going to come out and do some cobwebbing on the fence. And I'll show you that when she's done with it. We are, for the most part, done with Spider. Now hold on, I gotta get the set dresser because she hasn't seen one I just got done doing. Okay, here's the other thing we got done tonight. The photo op is lit. Now I still need to run my AC line to run the bubbler the projector, and the fogger. And I need to get the hay in. And it's too dark to do either of those right now because I need to see where wiring and stuff is as I'm stumbling around in there. So that will be on the list, one of the first things we do tomorrow, along with the 2 spots over in the spider area. And if we're really, really lucky, we'll see the set dresser in action. Cobwebbing. And maybe she'll give us another tutorial this year.
Why do I need to give a tutorial? It's spiderweb.
Why do I need to give a tutorial? It's spiderweb, she said. I'm repeating what she said because the mic on this fucking thing sucks. But our sign's lit up, and I don't think anything is going to interfere with the projection screen. And I didn't put any lights on the pumpkin piles. I don't know if we need them or not. Of course, once we get the front end all lit up too,
yeah,
and whatever, we'll have more light out here. So
it's kind of dark in the dark, but.
And then once you get the hay in there too, the yellow will help reflect some light as well.
Yeah.
And that again is tomorrow. So for tomorrow, we've got hay and the AC cord to run in here. We got the 2 spots in the spider area. And then we'll start working on lighting up the front end here. And I got a repair to do in the exit hall. I got 2 rows that were working that are not now off. I think when I put the plywood up with for George, I must have knocked the connection a little bit. So I just gotta get up there and fiddle with it. Or pinched it, yeah. I just gotta get up there and fiddle with it. So anyway, stay tuned for your end of the day. Okay, end of the day wrap up. It's been an eventful day. Eventful. Spider is pretty much done on my end. Like I said in the last 2 segments, or the last 2 clips, or however you want to word it, I've got 2 spotlights I need to put in. Other than that, I have nothing else to do in there. Everything is good to go. Swan's going to be in there tomorrow to finish off our cobwebbing and put final details in. And then later in the day, I'll have Morgan come out from the gypsy through the courtyard all the way into spider needs to be swept, and then from spider all the way through the tube hole needs to be raked, from all the hay. And we got to get that mess cleaned up. So I'll have Morgan do that tomorrow. But anyway, I got done with the spider, and I was just going to go over and screw around in the photo hall, and get some of the try to get a little bit of things wired up over there, and it just bugged the hell out of me. I don't like, this year I jumped ahead of schedule. I normally do the photo op in the front end, and then the entrance, and like this year it'd be the photo hall. I go display by display to do it, so I don't forget anything. This year, I went ahead and did the tube hallway and the spider hallway for Sue. Instead of making her wait, till the last minute and then having her rush, I got it done ahead of time. And then she has some time off while I'm trying to finish up stuff out here. I got done with the spider. I was gonna go ahead and just start on the photo hallway. I don't like working out front at night, just for the matter of fact, all the customers and people they get across the way with the businesses, and I just sit there and get interrupted over and over and over and over again, and it takes 5 times longer to normally do what I set out there to do. Tonight, surprisingly enough, they were busy, but people left me alone. I did have a crowd watching me for a while. I felt very insecure with that. I hate being watched like that when I'm working. But no one talked to me. Everyone left me alone. And it didn't take long to do the photo op. There wasn't overly much in there. God, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there was 10 or 11 lights altogether. I had to get wired up and run the wires and everything. The big skelly looks really good, all lit up. So, and we got our sign lit up out there, the Haunted Tents with the Facebook address, and that is helping. I've gotten some private messages of people asking questions and stuff. And they've said, "Hey, we drove by and got your web Abby off the sign." Oh, okay. So it is working. It is helping. But tomorrow, I've got a little bit of work downstairs I need to do. I've got some soldering. I got to make up some fittings and stuff that I'm going to need for the photo hallway. So I might as well take the time and do that in the morning. Before I come out. And before I start the vlog. I also got the power cord for the obelisk I got to get fixed. And if I'm going to have the soldering iron out to do one job, I might as well do both jobs. So I'll probably do that before I get out here. Then it's going to be the spotlights and the spider, and getting out and finishing off the photo op, which is just basically the household current line I need, AC, and getting the hay in. And then that display will be done and ready. So that'll give us 3 displays ready. Then we'll, I think I'm going to stay out front, and we'll try to get the front end done. Each pillar has 3 LED fixtures on it, one flood and 2 spots. So I've got 12 of those all together I got to put in. The skeletons on top of the pillars need to get wired up. The lantern and their eyes glow. So there's another 4 connections. And then I have 4 white floods I need to put in for the Make-A-Wish sign. And then that'll be done with the front end. I don't see it taking me too terribly long. But, a couple of hours at least. Probably going to take all day. Depends on how much I get bothered tomorrow. People wanting to ask questions and stuff. But if we can get everything done, get the front end done, then I'll move in and do the exit hall or entrance hallway, and probably check the exit hall out too. After that, I don't know if we'll make it into the photo hallway or not. Like I said earlier, I think when I mentioned it, that can take a day or 2 to do. Just for the fact, I've got all the photos that have the RGB light strips in it, and then each regular picture in there needs 1 or 2 spotlights on it. So it's a lot of lighting, and then the display needs to get put together. And there's a control board in there that's 12 volt, and then we have a 5 volt line we have to run over for the book, and it gets involved. And then we got hay, so we want to put pumpkins in there, and then get just one thing after the other. So. Well, anyway, we'll see where we can get tomorrow. I do know we will be working on that front end tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get it done and be into at least the entrance hallway. Stay spooky, stay toxic.